Hello, class. Today I'm going to introduce a study showing that television makes people more violent. It is important that in the influences of the media be addressed in daily society, showing that what we see turns into something we do, or a product of action comes from an influenced state of mind. This helps us to determine if violent nature can be modified or even engineered based on programmed entertainment. So, the way this is tested, a statement must be addressed, determining the experiment. Violence is a product of television. From this, we can test the hypothesis: if a child watches television, then he or she will become more violent. This works because the dependent variable would be the person of influence, which in this case would be the child, and the independent variable is television, and the co-founding variable would in fact be the type of television shown to the child. The study would show the level of aggression a child may appear to have based on the increased levels of serotonin in the brain, which um, is supposed to be responsible for violence. This is crazy because it could potentially show that from just observing, chemical reactions could affect our perception of the world. Uh, I predicted that about 75% of the people in the study would show a chemical reaction. And this study would be a quantitative measure, but not a passive one, due to the fact that the network or pool is modified in a controlled environment. In this case, the perspective does not use selective representation due to the controlled environment, creating an even playing field of study. So, from this study, 100 individuals were tested in a controlled environment, showing increased levels of serotonin in 47 children. Okay, from this data, the data shown disconfirms the hypothesis due to lack of substantial evidence against it. I predicted about 3 out of 4 individuals would have a chemical reaction, but only about half proved to be. From this, a disconfirmation can be made, shown that the thesis is lacking in evidence and support. Through deductive reasoning, a hypothesis of violence was tested, observed, and proved that only about half the subjects were positive. Okay, and from this, an auxiliary hypothesis can be made, shown that children have to share a TV with parents or siblings, causing arguments leading to violence. This hypothesis would complicate the matter because during these moments serotonin is triggered in the brain. This makes it difficult to confirm the theory because this type of mentality would be triggered when a child watches TV. The brain remembers the arguments and releases the chemical. This would disprove the results that TV shows is the actual cause of the serotonin release. Also, in a sense, would display underdetermination. We could also say that all the evidence displayed is still lacking in validity. The experiment shown only shows a chemical reaction, but does not, in fact, show violent nature. A million tests can have the same effect of release of serotonin, but until a violent act is committed, there is no way of proving its existence on the surface. This in turn would show that the whole experiment itself is a fluke and a product of underdetermination, according to the Keen-Duhim thesis.